Hi and welcome to Tremor Trails, the channel that's geared all around the F-150 Ford Tremor for the overlander, the off-roader, the adventure seeker, or just people that are generally curious about what their Tremor can do. What we try and do on this channel is highlight trails and trips and give you an overview and an understanding of what you can expect when you're out there exploring these trails yourselves. Me and my wife are not the most experienced overlanders or off-roaders, if you will. We don't have the most expensive tech, we don't have the best gear yet, but we had an understanding of what this truck was capable of doing in off-road scenarios. I wanted to know that I could be up on a 12,000 foot mountain pass and not be stuck and stranded in my $70,000 truck. There just wasn't a whole lot of stuff out there to research and find out. That's why we made this channel for people like you. All you need is a tent, a cooler, and your truck, and you can go explore some of the most beautiful places America has to offer. With that being said, today we're doing one of my most favorite trails in Moab. We're doing the Potash or Potash Trail. Let's go check it out. All right, the Potash or Potash Road. I still have not figured out how to say that properly, and so I'm just going to go with Potash because I'm from the south. Obviously, it's located in Moab, Utah. This is more of an overlander trail. There's nothing technical on it at all. It's just a great scenery. With that being said, it's about 10.5 miles, hour and a half to 2 hours if you stop and check out all the things, which I highly recommend you do. With that being said, what we can expect is obviously a dirt road, minor rock steps, and a shelf road. Several highlights on this trail. You get to see balanced rock, you get to see the Potash Ponds, which are a beautiful blue, teal color, and the highlight being Thelma and Louise Point, where they actually filmed the final scene to that movie. That's a Colorado overlook view. Remember that our cameras have stabilizers on them, so the hills are not going to appear as steep, and the bumps are not going to be as rough. One of your first stops is going to be one of the more famous balanced rock formations. This thing is like the size of a school bus. It's incredible. I often wonder how long this thing has been sitting like that and how much longer it's going to sit like that. These are definitely treasures that you want to get out to and explore yourself, put your eyes on it. Anyways, get yourself a picture and then let's get back on the road. You're going to come across a chain link fence, and then to your left, behind that chain link fence, you're going to see the Potash Ponds. I did a little bit of research on these things, and there was actually a guy on YouTube that did an incredible video about the whole process of what happens here. I will link that below if you're interested in learning more. Essentially, this is ancient mine salt, and they pump it up out of the mine, and it comes here. They put a dye in it, and then it evaporates and becomes salt. And that salt is used for fertilizer to help plants grow, some ceramic stuff, and little odd and end things. Anyways, it's a really cool process. After the ponds, we get up into one of my most favorite sections of this trail. The scenery is just epic. As you can see from this picture, there's a Jeep about halfway up that trail right there. This place is littered with trails. There's all kinds of things to go out and explore. Unfortunately, we didn't have a lot of time this day to do it, but that just gives us a reason to come back and see more of it. This is where you're going to start climbing up to the overlook. And man, what a view it is. Really the pinnacle of this trail, minus the Schaefer switchbacks, which I will talk about at the end of this video, is Thelma and Louise Point. This is where you have an overview of the Colorado River. As you can see, it's just jaw-droppingly gorgeous. Side note, this is where they filmed the final scene to Thelma and Louise, that movie from the 90s. I kind of nerded out a little bit. They had 3 cars. The first car failed miserably, but the second car did great, so they didn't use the third car. This is one of those spots that I could just hang out for hours and hours and do nothing but just stare at scenery. But we had to get back up on the trail. That being said, this is that short-lived shelf road that I talked about at the beginning. It's an extremely easy shelf road. There's only one tight spot, and it's right here, and it's not really even quote-unquote that tight. Other than that, you're going to follow the river up till the end of the trail, with the beautiful Colorado River off to your left. So there you have it, the Potash Road. A side note about this road is that once you get to the end at T's, you can go to the left, which is a white rim trail. You have to have a pass to get out there. It's a pretty epic 100-mile off-roading, overlanding type trail. B, you could turn around if you wanted to, but C, which probably 99% of everybody does, is you turn and you go up the Schaefer switchbacks. I was gonna put the Schaefer switchbacks at the end of this video, which I've seen a lot of people do when they highlight this trail. But it's such an epic switchback trail that I felt like it deserved its own video. So if you're interested, there's a link below. You can check out the end section of this trail, if you will. We rate all of our trails on a 1 to 5 scale. It's pretty simple. We do fun, fear, technical, and scenery. For fun, it got a big old 4. This is more of an overlanding type trail. This isn't necessarily an off-road per se trail. It was just a fun adventure getting out there into the middle of the desert, seeing some of these landscapes. For fear, it got a 2. And I'm really even hesitant to give it a 2, to be honest with you. There's nothing on this trail that's fearful at all. You have one shelf road that gets a little tight for 50 feet, if that. So, you know, it's nothing to be scared of at all. There's nothing that I was fearful of the whole time. Even at Thelma and Louise Point, it's so open that there's never really any fear at all. It's just, you're just taking in the beauty of this trail. Technical, it's a 2, and I guess that's only because of the shelf road. I like to, if you have a shelf road, I like to add something to it, but it's such a short-lived shelf road, it's almost non-existent. I would assume that RVs have traveled this trail. As a matter of fact, when we were there was a 2-wheel drive car that was at Thelma and Louise Point. And he said he was bottoming out everywhere and grinding his stuff in some spots, but he even made it down there. So technically, this is not a technical trail at all. For scenery, it got a big old 4. I mean, when I think of Moab and the mesas and the red rocks and the river, this is what comes to mind. I mean, what more could I say about it? It had everything that I wanted as far as this part of the country. So to recap, the Potash Road is just one of those trails that you gotta just go do. It is such a low-key drive that you just get to take in the scenery, and that's something that I really appreciated about it. You're just out there exploring, and that's what made it so much fun. Once again, thanks for watching. We really appreciate it. If you have any questions about this trail or any trail that you've seen on our channel, please feel free to hit us up below. We'll try and get to any questions that you may have. Until next time, we'll see you on the trail.